Will the segue finally work in getting me to talk about my hiking trip? Maybe. Well, let's see. Speaking of vacations, the hiking trip was supposed to be a friend vacation where I meet up with this group of friends of mine from high school. This is the same group of friends that got me into BTS. Your grass touching. How was the hiking? Yes, this is the story. So, a bit of backstory. When I was in high school, there was this specific group of friends I would hang out with in this small corner of school where there was free Wi-Fi that we were all able to connect to. What you said, you were talking about gacha games. Mine is CS:GO. Got to do the case opening. CS:GO is a gacha game? Enjoy dinner, Ino. Enjoy the barbecue. Hope you got your isaw baboy. So my friends, these group of friends of mine, we would meet up every so often. Like we were stuck together since high school because we were always together in that small corner of the school where there was free Wi-Fi. When we even ended up all getting into BTS together, we all had our own biases and all that. We went through all the motions. Of course, we were all broke, so we couldn't attend concerts or actually buy proper merch back then. All we could do was torrent videos, or download and pass along fan subbed videos to each other. Our device storage was always red. Valorant is gacha. What? Is it because it has loot boxes? CS:GO is indeed a gacha game. If it has elements of gambling, surely it's a gacha. Is that what it means? Where you gamble for skins. CS:GO is a skin gacha. Dang. Where's the gambling in Valo? You just buy the skins. Oh, it's a shop thing. It's a deal. It's a buy thing. You don't have a loot box or anything. Yeah, no gacha, just buy. During karaoke session in Japan, I accidentally misread hate. I almost misread that, which is Japanese for troops, and instead said replace the first with an N, which means pervert. That all happened while I was with 7 other friends. Sounds about right. You can get rich in CS:GO with skins. You can get rich up to $2 million by selling your account that has skins? Question mark? Just let me get the knife skin. Good luck. What do you mean? Is it a skin for your knife, or are you the character wearing a costume of a knife? What skins are we talking about here? Flesh of the damned, or? I say look it up. It's really big. What am I looking up? CS:GO knife skin? It's really big. Does that mean it's camo? The guns, knives have camo. What does that mean? CS:GO skins? What does that mean? Oh, here it is. Introducing the chroma case knife finishes. These all look kind of pretty? Question mark. Just search the most expensive knife. Gun paint gumbo. CS:GO most expensive knife. Do these do anything different? Are they just for aesthetics? Do they boost your skills? Do they make you better as a player, as a person? In your soul, in your heart? What am I looking at? Aesthetics, skills. I've never done that before. Only does TF2 gambling with 2,000 plus open cases. At least you're not spending anything, question mark. It looks pretty. Yeah, skills, sure. It's just aesthetic. Plus you can resell them on Steam if the value of your gun, knife, paint is good. So if you sell them on Steam, are you just selling the knife skin, or are you? Oh my goodness, you spent $2,000. I hope it was worth it. Do you lose your account, or is it just the knife? You can keep your account. You can just sell the item outright. No. Okay. No as in you don't lose your account, or no as in it was not worth it. It's basically an NFT. Well, arguably better than an NFT, but in principle, it is kind of like an NFT, yeah. Not spending anything, yeah, and minus $9K from all the cases because I refuse to resell. Oh god. I am so happy you all are still here and able to, like, I don't know, exist? Question mark? I should not be so judgmental, but also, god dang, guys. That's a whole car. Don't make them realize it, Nick. Don't make them realize it. I only got one good skin that's worth 200. You're so sad. Sunk cost fallacy, my friend. Sunk cost fallacy. For you guys, it's money. For me, it's time and effort. That's why I'm still in Genshin. Most likely, that's why I'm still in Genshin. I'm not selling my 10K USD hat. It's pretty and I want to keep it. Fair enough. That's very, very fair. Oh goodness. I don't really spend money a lot. Like, I don't spend large amounts of money. That's why I'm still in Genshin. Shush, quiet. No one needs to hear that. No, I don't really spend a lot of money. I'm very much a boomer in that sense that I don't like I'd rather spend my money on food and other necessities. I don't know why I'm like this. It's not like I was raised in poverty or anything. I just have this mindset that I shouldn't be treating myself too much. You probably spent over 3K. No, I'm genuinely free to play in all of my gacha games. All of my IRL money goes to other places in my IRL concerns. Like, genuinely, ask anyone. I'm free to play. Anything you think I paid for in the game, those were all gifts from people who want cellmates. You see those chibis? You see those chibis flying through my cage right now? Some of those were paid for. Some of those were paid for by people who didn't want to save the pebbles and just gifted me Welkin and other stuff in-game. So, Jig is indeed free to play. A certain VTuber buys everything for it. Who is okay? Don't worry about other VTubers. That's their decision. It's a personal decision for me as well. Like, I treat myself like what, a $10 burrito, and after I say to myself, one more burrito and I'm in debt. I have to be stingy with money. Same. Wait, what's the exclamation? What's the asterisk for? Who are you asterisking for? Get a hobby like mine. The cars. Wait, why my scrolls are dying? I can't scroll up on chat. Why? I can't see what the asterisk that Kuro made was for. I can't scroll up. Why? Why is this? Buys everything for Jig. Oh, is for yes. Some other people buy stuff for me. I don't ask them to, but they like their cellmates, or me freaking out in chat in Sunstream. Credit card noises from chat. Stop. If anything, if I need anything, it's Firefly's schoolgirl outfit. Do you guys want to donate to me to get Firefly's high school outfit? Like, my cellmates are worth 2 Welkin a pop, but make it like Star Rail passes. You get a $10 burrito, I only got fined $15. Oh no, we're in the Philippines, yellow, so it's a lot cheaper. What the fudge is a burrito that's worth like 500 pesos? What the fudge kind of 5-star gourmet restaurant is this burrito from? So tell me where that is so that I can stay 500 feet away from it. Subway? Taco Bell? They sell 500 peso burritos? The fudge? I believe it. I've never been to a Subway or a Taco Bell. Mostly because they're not halal, I think. You haven't eaten Subway yet? I haven't eaten Subway either. You guys want to sell me? You guys want to donate for my Firefly schoolgirl fit? A cellmate is worth 2 Star Rail passes. I will be a sellout just for specifically for the Firefly schoolgirl outfit. Anyway, will I ever get to my hiking story? Who's to say? Anyway, high school friends, after high school, we went our separate ways, attended different colleges, went through different courses. We still met up, we still chatted, we still hung out. After we got to work, we started hanging out every so often. Usually it's watching a movie, usually it's having a sleepover at my place or someone else's place. Usually it's my place because my parents would rather have other people stay at our house than have me stay at other people's houses. It's a preference for them. You already spent all your money in virtual cases. Please spend your money on your children or yourself. Filipino, you just want dinuguan. Ooh, a vampire. Speaking of sleepover, I gotta go. Must wake up at 4 to 5 tomorrow. All the love. Thank you, Nick. Thank you for passing by. Thank you for popping in. Have a good eat, and hopefully you survive the vacay and come back soon and rest. Pat. I forgot you have 8 a.m. classes and an exam tomorrow on a Saturday? Ugh. Good luck. So when we all started getting work and having our own money to spend, most of us still didn't buy a lot of things BTS related. I think we slowly teetered out of our BTS phase. Good luck, Kura. Good luck. Gambare. You'll do great. You'll be fine. And if not, it's just a quiz. It's just one quiz, maybe. So anyway, at some point when we started working, BTS started joining the military. So the production started teetering out, but also they were going through I like to call it a happy phase. Like they've gone through all the sad boy emo emotion, all the sad boy emo songs that they can go through, all the ballads and the sonettes and the huayanywa. So now they're just happy. Now they're breaking into the international scene. They're going global, and I lost interest. I still love their songs, specifically their ballads type of songs. Specifically the what was it? Specifically the most dramatic parts of their songs, their most emos of songs. I still adore them to this day. But when they started breaking into like peppy, happy pop, and I still love Spring Day. I still absolutely adore Spring Day. I don't remember a single lyric to their name, but I can still remember the love I have for it. And I don't know, listening to Saja Boys just got me, and listening to Saja Boys and how hard they went into the songs, it gave me army flashbacks back when I was in army for BTS. It gave me I don't know, for some reason Baby Saja gave off 17 vibes. Baby Saja has the same vibes as Quid's Bias in 17, if you guys know who that is. But I forgot why. Maybe they do have the same vibe. Maybe it's because he's the shortest. I don't know. But does he? Sticker, you attest to me as a 17er. As a carrot. Oh, that's why, Sticker. That's why I keep likening you to a carrot. Because you're a carrot. Oh, it makes so much sense now. Ah, also you're orange and green. Yes. Yeah, I realized so many things today. Amazing what can happen when you just talk about things. It all makes sense now. Everything makes sense now. So as we grew older and BTS started changing genres and we started losing interest in just bonding over BTS, we started going out more, like watching not more, like instead of going to BTS cafes, for example, because there's a few BTS cafes every so often, instead of going to those types of events, we would just watch movies, random movies. We watched Train to Busan in theaters together, and that was an interesting experience because I don't like horror. I don't like thriller. I don't like jump scares. And watching such a thing on a widescreen theater was a first for me. I see myself as an orange for so long. A carrot got me so confused. It's because your OC, which I have now imprinted as your face to me, as your Sona to me. I know it's an OC, but your OC to me is now your face. And you are green and orange coded to me now. Unless you suddenly like have a new OC. But I don't know, it's been so long. See? It's right there. It's there. It's with us. Oh, no, it's gone. Kakarot. Goku? Goku is also orange. I'm connecting the dots. I'm connecting the dots. Kakarot can be Ino, for all we care. Nina! We're talking about welcome in. We're talking about my hiking trip, and for some reason, I'm getting distracted by backstory. Thank you for the drink. I do need that. Woozy in 17 is more vocalist than rapper, but I guess I saw Baby like Felix in Stray Kids. Oh, thank you for question. Yes, hiking. I finished the first story earlier. That was a different hiking story. But now I'm diving into the second hiking story. I did it again, and I'm just distracted by backstory, by lore, build up. I did, Kuro, I did. We did an entire tirade earlier. We did an entire like gush over it. I have all the opinions at the start of the stream. I'm not getting back into it now. But Felix's face looks so baby, but when he opens his mouth, his voice sounds deep. Is that not Woozy? Is that a game? K-pop Demon Hunters? It's a movie, no? What game? Zoe's your wife? Rumi, my beloved. The hiking. Oh, like actual, literal, physical hiking. IRL, touching grass. Maybe that's Suga instead of Woozy. Woozy has a higher voice. I'm combining Woozy with Suga, actually. I think I see them as the same person now. No, that's so mean, especially as being an army. Like, Woozy gives off like a younger Suga vibe. I don't know. I did. Like, I think it was last week or the other day. I forget the timeline. But it was recently I hiked. I was hiking with these high school friends. These friends of mine that I've had since high school. And I was sharing how we were friends. Healthy Jig, I am in pain, Nina. My body is crumbling. But thank you for thinking that. So I was saying how I was hiking with these group of friends I've had since high school, and the reason why we were friends is because we were all together in that one part of school that has free Wi-Fi, and they got into BTS, and because I was always there with them, I got into BTS. That's how you know it works. Fair enough. And for the longest time, we've only ever had BTS in common. But at some point, we all teetered out of the fandom and lived our lives. We got jobs. We started doing other things. We started having more interest in other things. And so at some point, we stopped hanging out because of BTS. And we started hanging out doing other things like watching movies, having sleepovers, talking about all the other stuff. And after years of this, so, like, you know those types of friends, right? The low maintenance friends. We are all low maintenance friends. We meet up like once in a blue moon. We rarely get to have the complete set sometimes because of scheduling. And at one point of our group chat, they go, yo, join this hiking trip and we don't have to meet each other again for 2 years. So we went, deal. Because it stops being a drawing. It stops being a drawing and starts being a plan. And the fact that we don't have to worry about drawings for 2 years, go. Let's do it. Hiking? Oh, how bad could it be? It was very bad. I hyperventilated. I forgot my inhaler. I had to ride a horse for the rest of the journey. How this came to be? Well, it starts off in the morning of a day. We just kidnap each other on a random day. They just show up at your door one day and go, yo, get in. I haven't taken a bath yet. You're fine. Come in. I haven't put on my makeup yet. Drags you by the collar of your neck. In. They actually did that to me in college. Oh my gosh. In pajamas, where did you go? What do you mean? They kidnapped me in my pajamas in their car. Where did you go in your pajamas, Nina? What do you mean? They returned me to my room at 6 a.m. What the? Oh, to your mom at 6 a.m. What the fudge? You were out all day? All night? At college? Oh my god, that's a me in class! Nina's adventures. Even I've never done that. My goodness. Did you have fun? Friends. Yes, friends. Did you have fun? My friends could never do that to me because none of us have cars. It was fun. Good. Yay. Pat pat. Congratulations, Nina. Well, you survived, I'm assuming. You're here now. You can't do that now? Yeah. We can't do that now either. Even if we could. None of us have cars. Oh, your grandma back. Oh, Tribby. Oh, Tribby. Pat pat, Tribby. The Tita schedule is so real. Like, even if you work from home, right? Like, you still have a schedule you have to abide to. That's a, like, it's, you can't just walk up and go away. No, that's fine. Like, that's the same with us. We don't just, you have not recovered from sickness. Quid, welcome back. Quid. I needed tech support earlier. I still need it now. So for some reason, I know you're sick, but bear with me. For some reason, oh goodness me. For some reason, my PNG tuber wants to be at front and center of the screen as the front tab, but my stream avatars also wants that. So whenever one of them isn't at the front, they start like fritzing out, like they start like lagging and things. And that I don't know, like is that something I should be concerned about, or like it's admittedly it's not that bad, question mark, but also like that's all really. But if you don't know the answer to it, but turn off the setting to keep on top on the PNG one and it should be fine. There's a setting for that? Wait, what? What do you mean? Where's the setting for that? Background color, max FPS, bounce force, bounce gravity, blink chance, blink speed, costume bounce, texture filtering. That costume keys. Save avatar, load avatar, add new sprite. I don't see it. Can I do it with stream avatars instead? Does it have to be the PNG one? Oh well. Quid remembers that. That morning, if the stream avatars have it, then it should be fine. Where's the stream avatars one? I don't know what you mean by keep on top setting. Does it have a proper name or no? I was talking about my hiking story, Quinn. I was talking about my hiking story. I finished the backstory a bit too many times. But basically, we got into a van in the crack of dawn. It was exactly like, it was after 4 o'clock. It was, go tell your story, I shall Google for you. Thank you. As long as one of them is turned off. I don't know what the thing I have to turn off is, but good luck on the Google. I hope I'm not bothering your rest then. But yeah, how do I say this? There's 10 of us. Not all of them were my friends from high school. 2 of those were my brothers. Now, you all know Cryo. Cryo has been in chat a few times. We'll call the other one Dendro. Yeah, we'll call the other one Dendro, sure. Well, You all know Cryo. He's made his appearance in chat before. Dendro is another brother of mine. So it was me, a bunch of my friends, a bunch of my friends' colleagues, and my two brothers, Cryo and Dendro. Cryo is our youngest, but he's already like in high school. Dendro is a college student, so he's a legal adult at this point. But when I learned that there was gonna be when I learned that we were all gonna be women in that trip, they asked me if I could ask my brothers to join so that we'd have like some guys to, I don't know, just be there. And my brothers were like the perfect candidates to not be awkward or anything. They were young enough to just be the boys. And so I asked them if they were free. Now, originally, I was not gonna ask Cryo. The person they wanted was another brother. We'll call him Gio. But keeping them in a different monitor for each of them was the fix for some. I have them in different monitors. So right now, my PNG tuber is on top, right? But if I click on stream avatars, now the stream avatars are on top. And you can see how my PNG tuber suddenly loses frames. But if I do this, now the stream avatars one isn't as obvious as the PNG tuber one, in my opinion. Dika, welcome in. I was talking about hiking. But also wondering how I can make both of my applications not drop frames. Have you restarted both programs? Oh, should I? Let me see. Wait. Boop. Give me a sec. All your shards are mine. Nom. And open them as admin? As admin? Okay, that's new. I've never opened them as admin before. If I can find them in my desktop, because they're pinned to my start button. Give me a sec. Should I just open them in my windows? What do you even call these? What is even the name for these things? Stream avatars. Okay. Oh man, there's open file location and just open thing. How do I open this as admin? Stream avatars. Open, print, restore, send to, cut, copy, create shortcut, delete, rename properties. I can't open it as admin. What? Why is there no option for that? I can open OBS as admin. Where is PNG Tuber Plus? It should be fine if stream avatars. Oh, okay. But the PNG Tuber Plus you can open as admin, I think. Let's check. If I can find the original file for it, because it's not popping up in my windows. Where would I save it? Would it be in this file? Ah, here it is. So, run as administrator? Is that it? Run, troubleshoot, and okay, run as administrator. Yes. I've never had this problem before, I don't think. Or maybe I just never noticed. Question mark? Maybe I've just been blind this entire time. Okay. Let's see if that works. And then... Oh gosh. Boop. I mean, does it work? I don't know if it works, really. I guess? Question mark? Is it smoother? I can't tell. I cannot tell. No, it's not. No, it's not. Because this is how it looks like when it's on top. And this is what it looks like when stream avatars is on top. Yeah. Yeah. You know, let's just have stream avatars on top. That's fine. Stream avatars on top fixes it. Your model ain't lagging. No, it is. Because if it's on top, the mouth moves faster. This model is a terrible example for it because it just has a few moving parts. But the mouth is the giveaway. The mouth is really fast when it moves. But yeah, it's less obvious compared to if I have stream avatars on top. So we'll keep stream avatars on top. That's good. That's fine. That's all right. We'll figure it out soon. Maybe I just have too many things on my PC now. I did download Split Fiction recently, and that might be causing the death a bit. That might be causing that deterioration a bit. Don't worry, Lemon and I will finish our playthrough, and it'll be gone soon enough. Surely we'll finish that 15-hour game soon. Surely. Split Fiction? Yeah, it's really fun. It's difficult. I have my skill issues on it, but it's not as difficult as I thought it would be. You know, it's very kind in the sense that I thought it would need a lot more balance, but nah, it's pretty good. Like it has some very smart tracking. Sana all may kalaro. I do still play Genshin, of course, Dika, I do. We're playing Stygian on Monday, actually. If you wanna take a slot that day, take a slot as in be here on Monday and beat everyone else for a slot. I've done my best as tech support. I shall do more research. To Shadows I go. Good luck on Shadows and hope you feel better soon, Quid. Pat pat. It's just that we're just doing the monthly just chatting stream today, Dika. Sana all may kalaro for other games, not just Genshin. I don't know, make friends? That sounded mean. You already quit Genshin! Oh my goodness, congratulations, Dika! I'm so proud of you! Now never look back. I'm going now, Kura! Because Kura, your games are such sweaty games. Of course I'm not gonna be able to play with you on those. I'm happy you're having fun though, or at least suffering via your own volition, question mark. But what was I gonna say? Right, hiking. We're talking about hiking, gosh dang it. What part of the story did I end up with? Was it just the start? You're playing Minecraft alone for years? Minecraft. I haven't looked back on it for a bit. I think I've finished my arc on that. Maybe I'll come back to it soon, but I don't know. I don't want to make any promises to myself. I'm not against playing Minecraft again. It's just that I don't feel like it. It's the same with what's that game? Stardew Valley. I haven't touched that game in years. Oh right, Geo. Right. You're glad I'm not dealing with bubble friend. Pat. Let's see. So let's just give my brothers all names, shall we? So my older brother, let's call him Animo. The brother after me, like my second brother, let's call him. That's Dendro. After him is Geo, and our youngest is Cryo. No synergy whatsoever. No elemental reactions between these characters. Wait, no, there's Swirl. We have Swirl. Never mind. Who cares? So, like Animo can. So these are my brothers, right? So the original people we were supposed to invite was Geo and Dendro, but Geo couldn't make it, so we settled for Cryo. Now Cryo, bless his golden boy heart, he is so young and so energetic. My specific invite was, can you join us? We need a few guys on the trip to be like porters, to like carry the heavy stuff, and Geo said, nope, I can't, got school, too busy. But Animo said, not Animo, fudge, I forget my brother's names. But Dendro said, if there is no other choice, I'm fine with it. Cryo, meanwhile, hits me up in DMs and go, yo, I'm strong, I'm fit, I've got the muscle. He's very young. He just started. He just started like second year of high school. He sells all this stuff. Like I do all my martial arts. I do all my sports. I'm pretty strong. I can carry a few bags. And I go, you really want to go hiking? It was an interview. He wasn't even a participant. He wasn't even in the tags. So I sent his DMs to our parents and asked, "Yo, can he join on the trip?" And they went sure. Now, interestingly though, my parents are pretty protective, so I was actually surprised that they'd let Cryo join. Later on, my dad's pretty passive though. If mom says yes, then sure, y'all can do it. But thank you for the alert, Kura. But mom said yes, and I was go, huh? Okay. I've sent them where we were going, all the details, all the itinerary, the prices, the whatchamacallits, the schedule, the locations, anything to expect, what to prepare. And my mom still said yes. So okay. I mean, I'm covering for them. I'm paying for them joining. In fairness, I'm not asking mom for anything, but I'm not asking my parents for any payment for that. I'm the one who invited them. I'm paying for them. But this is where my money goes, by the way. That's why I don't buy anything in gacha. This is where my money goes. But no, I'm joking. This is a one-time thing. I don't go hiking at a regular. But basically, it was on the day we were supposed to go. The evening before we were supposed to go, mom asked if we're all like ready and stuff, and I go, yeah, we're heading out at like 4 a.m. and going, and then we'll be back the next day after an overnight. And she goes, 4 a.m.? Why would you need to go to 4 a.m.? You're fine going at 7 a.m. You'll be there at like 8. And I go, what? She goes, yeah, it's not that far. You guys can get there at 8. And I'm like, no, we need to get out of here at 4 a.m. What do you mean we have to get out of here at 7:30? We wouldn't get any hiking done. We'd finish hiking at like 7 p.m. And what do you mean? It's right over. Aren't you just going over here? You know, like a mile out of home to that nearest mountain in our area? Mom, we're going to a different region. I sent you the itinerary. I sent you the promotional pictures, the venue, the locations, what to expect. Mom, we're going like 2 regions out at maximum. What? So, apparently, my mom was so easy to convince to bring my brothers along because she thought we were only heading out like within the area, in the nearest hiking mountain we can go to. She didn't realize. She never opened all of the links, all of the things that I sent her. It was in our family GC group chat that we were going to this specific location very far away. It was like a 3-4 hour drive to the location, to the base location alone. And I thought, okay, now that you know that it's gonna be a few regions out, are you still okay with the boys joining us? And she can't back out now. It was the night of the trip. It was the evening beforehand. Like, yeah, of course she can't back out now. We paid the down payments. The boys were excited. The boys were ready for a good hike out. I think this is the first time Cryo's ever been hiking. So of course he's hyped. And so brothers went. Then after that interview too, exactly. You would crush that boy's heart. We'd be out one porter. We'd be out one lackey. Long story short, the boys got to join. A van picked us up at like the crack of dawn around 4 a.m. We picked up all of the other girls joining us, and I was asleep the rest of the ride. we got to a registration place where they took our names, where we signed a waiver. They gave us a certificate. They gave us a certificate that says, like, we did the thing. And I was like, we haven't earned this yet. We haven't earned this yet, but we could sign our names on this, take a picture, and just go home. Like, post it online and say we've done the thing, and we could just go home right now. So, I feel like they should have given this to us when we got down from the mountain. But they gave it to us before we trekked up, so that's their thing, I guess. I guess not many people come back to the registration area after climbing the mountain. For good reason. I understood this afterwards. So we tucked the certificates into the van because we're going to be using the same van going home. So we tucked the certificates into the van. And we headed up the mountain. It was another drive to the base of the mountain. And we were introduced to like these guides for us. It was part of our package. It was part of the things that we paid for. We get a guide. They cover our meals, lunch, breakfast, dinner for the overnight trip. And the way they worded it was that you respect the area, right? You respect the area. We have this thing called Clego, clean as you go. I don't know how often that term is used in other countries or other regions. But Clego was very much instilled. They keep saying, like, if you have trash, bring it with you. It's part of the things that you have to, like, make sure to keep tabs on. Don't just litter anywhere. Respect the trees, respect the forest, respect nature. They really wanted everyone to understand that, you know, don't be a dick, basically. God dang litterers. Because I've like, even without the fine, I feel like if you don't instill it, enough people would just pay the fine and litter anyway. Because I've seen it actually happen in really amazing places like Mount Everest, I think. I think Mount Everest is one of the biggest victims of this, where people would rather pay the fine rather than bring their trash with them back down the mountain. I think that sucks. But even if they didn't try to instill that on us, even if we could have gotten away with it with a fine, we wouldn't. We didn't do that. We made sure to keep our trash like relatively contained. We had a lot of trash bags. And in fairness to the organizers, right? Whenever we do have a trash bag, they would say, "Oh, we can tuck that away for you so that it doesn't just stink up your tent area," you know? Like, that was very nice of them. They had everything on lock. They were so nice. They were so good at their jobs. There was a lot of hidden fees. Like, you had to pay like 10 pesos to use the bathroom. It's 10 pesos to use the bathroom to piss, 15 pesos to poop, and then like 20 pesos to take a bath. How they don't keep tabs on you. In fairness, they don't keep tabs on you. They don't care if you actually follow suit. Like, if you suddenly start pooping when you paid to pee, like, they're not gonna know. You know, it's an honor system. It's an honor system at that point. Like, at one point, I went to the bathroom and it's just a kid. It's just a kid watching the payment area. I could have easily just given him anything, and it's an honor system. I kind of respect that a lot of people still follow it. Granted, I would rather that we don't have to pay for bathroom privileges, but you know what? There's a lake right there to piss and poop in, so I kind of get it. And then again, the lake was like so cold. It was so cold. So we went up the mountain. Imagine keeping tabs. Hi, Kay. Imagine keeping tabs of people pooping and pissing and taking a bath. Like, welcome in, Kay. Now, at the start of the trek, it was like it was like a cemented path, right? But it was at an incline. So it didn't take long for us to start heaving. start like losing breath. It was the fact that it was an incline that made it a bit more difficult than it should be. And I made the mistake of carrying a short strap bag. Now, we have carry-ons and then we have portered items. It's part of the package. You have porters to bring your items for you up the mountain to the location and then back down. It's like something pesos for per kilo. Why am I just named Hirota? For your grub, it's the first 6 letters of your name. Would you like to be called Hirota from now on? We have a bunch of interesting nicknames here. Would you like to meet? Okay, Roots is fine. Would you like to meet the Boar, or Nightb, or Jigrab, or okay, Tiffet's. That's not fair. Sticky, Hirota, Defini, Elsik, Jani. That's Tiffet again. That's Sticky again. That's Hirota again. That's the Boar again. Inopio, Red Tree. Hello, Sticky. Where's stream elements? I didn't see stream elements on that. Weird. Okay. I was joking about my brothers being porters for the climb. It was more like, we just needed some guys to join us. It's kind of dangerous to just be a group of girls out and about, Inopio sounds like old. Oh, congratulations! We know what we're gonna call you in a few, when it's your birthday. On your next birthday, I mean. Or, whenever we want to remind you about your age. So, my brother's being security being an open secret. Who's the brother I'm bringing on? Dendro. It's Dendro and Cryo. Dendro stuck with us for so long. Like, he was strong enough to head up faster than any one of us could blink, but he was so kind that he would stay with us, heaving every incline. We would take breaks so often, and he'd just wait. He'd just be there. Exactly, you had yours recently. That means you have to stay here until next year so that we can make fun of you for then. Anyway, Dendro was thoughtful enough to just stand there and just be ready for anything. None of us passed out. None of us tripped or anything. But he was just there. He was just keeping us company. Cryo, on the other hand, there was like 3 other girls in the group that was more fit than the rest of us, the high school friend group. And Cryo was with them, like miles in front of us. There was a huge gap difference between us. And I remember that trip in that Monkey Mountain where the 40-50-year-olds had this huge gap between us, and I was witnessing it happen again with these teenagers miles ahead of us. Like, apparently I'm just in the middle ground where I will always be left behind because of my terrible exercise choices, which is the fact that I do not do it at all. So there was 5 stations. There was 5 stations you go through per before you head to the base. Station 5 is the base camp where you're next to the lake. Station 1 is like this cool off area. It's still in civilization. There's still a village around it, and there's this horse parking, I would like to call it. I forgot the proper term. Not a stables. It's not a stables or anything. I think it was a stables actually, but I just didn't see the stables. It had like horse things. Open up Mobile Legends, we're playing. I do not play Mobile Legends, okay? What do you take me for? What a statement. Imagine people believing I play Mobile Legends. Oh my gosh. What is this blasphemy? What is this libel? Slander in my chat. no! God dang it! CK, see what you did. This is what you did, Kay. Blink twice, Jig, if you need help. My model can only blink once every 300 seconds, unfortunately. Can I sing twice instead? Anyway, by the time we got to Station 1, we had passed so many beautiful scenery, so many like rolling hills and like vibrant flowers. There were trees that go up in like there were trees so high, the canopy so far. The weather was absolutely perfect in the sense that it wasn't hot, it was not sunny, but it wasn't cloudy either. And every so often a drizzle of rain would pass by, but that would be it. We would never be soaking wet. Just a few drops here and there. You're going to their concert on October? Oh my goodness, good luck. Have fun, yeah. Gambare. I hope the travel expenses wouldn't be too bad, and I hope the experience treats you well. Concerts. I can never go to concerts. I went to one party in college where they were like celebrating the end of the year, for the end of the school year, and there was like disco music and flashing lights, and even if I wanted to like hang out and just listen to the music, I could not. My brain started hurting, my head started hurting, I started seeing colors everywhere, and I had to exit the gym. And that's when I realized, I'm so glad I'm Muslim. I can use that as an excuse to not do this, to not go to such disco parties. And in fairness, like there was just a group of Muslim girls and boys just hanging out outside the gym because they would not touch that party with a 10-foot pole. So we got up to Station 1 after rolling hills of greenery, of flowers, with the skies just drizzling us with rain every so often, just to cool us off every so often. Especially whenever we take a break at some inclines that were too inclined. Sometimes we'd stop at this side of the road that drops off to a cliff, and there's just mountains, there's just hills that go up. There's just hills that dip into valleys and go up into mountains, and you can see, and with my glasses I can see like leaves of trees and vines and branches and flowers that I don't know the names of, and they all just look different types of greenery and forestry and fauna from each other. And I just thought, wow, you could hide a body in here and no one will ever know for the longest time. So we got to Station 1, and at that point, I realized, not a good place for murder, Nina. A good place to hide the evidence of murder. Different things. You wouldn't leave a body where you did the murder, would you? They could track you down. Anyway, we got to Station 1, and I realized I didn't bring my inhaler. Fun fact, during my first hiking trip, the day I got a shellfish allergy, the evening of, I also didn't bring. I also forgot my inhaler at home. So, hiking up that mountain, remembering I did not bring my inhaler, I asked what would happen if, someone couldn't make it up the rest of the mountain anymore. And the guide said there is an option to ride horses. And it was, I'd like to say 400 pesos. and the horse would take you all the way to station 4, and then you'd have to make your way to station 5, the base camp, the lake camp, the final camp. And I said, I'm taking it. So we got to station 1, the friends took the pictures, the friends took their breaks. Cryo, God bless him, immediately went off to his own devices with the more buff, healthier girls. And Gio said, "You're taking a horse." Yes, I said. He asked, "How fast is the horse? Would I be able to keep up?" And the guide said that that unless you're used to the mountain, unless you're used to handling horses yourself, it would be better to just not try to keep up. Unless you're like skilled or trained for it specifically. So Gio went, "Okay, I'm heading out then. You go ride your horse. I'm gonna make my way too." And he was fast. He managed to catch up. Later I learned that he managed to catch up to Cryo and left my friends behind. He was literally just staying back to make sure that I specifically did not collapse. And once that responsibility was lifted off his shoulders, he went his own way. So at least he stayed true to the request, you know? He zoomed. Yes, he zoomed. He did. At least he stayed true to the request. Unlike Cryo, he's not here. So I waited in station 1. Everyone else went ahead. They were told that it would be better for them to go ahead because I will pass them the moment I'm on the horse. And a horse came around. This was my first time properly riding a horse. But although I was guided, I was being guided, right? Like I wasn't actively controlling the horse. I was basically, how do I say it? I was basically luggage. I was basically luggage with a consciousness. As far as the horse is concerned, I'm just another bunch of baggage. Now the handler was very nice. He was very chatty. Kinda did a few cringy pickup lines here and there, but you know what? I think I can handle a few pickup lines if the dude handling the reins to a 6 feet monster that has my life on its line, has its life on its hooves. I think I can handle a few pickup lines. Konnichiwa, welcome back, Jesse. So he was a nice guy in fairness. Like I try to lessen my nervousness by asking him questions because this is the first time I rode a horse. I'm not sure what to expect. He gave me instructions. He told me that if the horse was going up an incline, I would lean forward, and if the horse was going down, that I would lean back. And so I did. And the horse was smaller than the other horses that I saw. I think it was a pony. But I think that helped me a lot because when you straddle a horse, I didn't realize this soon enough. But did you shout "Sasege"? I said howdy. I said howdy a lot. I said partner a lot. I did the cowboy accent. I did not do the Japanese things. Tamago? So, dang, I need a so counter. It was good that the horse was technically a pony because although I knew that riding a horse for too long had the same effects as riding a bike for too long, especially if you're riding like an NMAX or something. If you guys know what an NMAX is. But I was not prepared by how bad my thighs would hurt. Like, god dang, like I tried not to put any pressure at all on my legs, but god dang, my thighs hurt. It felt numb. My butt felt numb. My entire lower body felt numb. My shins felt like it would sting at every like coil. the last time I felt this bad on my lower joints is when I had to ride a bike for like more than an hour. Counter over the course of your entire life around 6 million. That feels like too low. That feels too low. And there were times where I wanted to get down, but I felt like if I had to get down, it would be another journey to just get back up again. So I just soldiered through it. There were points where the horse would like stray off the path to head over to the grass, and the handler would like have to like pull him back into the path. And at one point there was like a pool of water, it was just lovely sitting in one side, and the horse stopped to take a drink, and that's when the handler decided like, okay, let's just give him a treat. I'll go like in the how do I say this? He's gonna piss in the bushes. There you go. He's gonna piss in the bushes while the horse drinks from the water. But then he realized, oh, if another horse walks by, it'll be blocking the path, and I wouldn't know how to like maneuver it away. So he moved the horse into like this grassy patch area to the side, right before it dips into like this cliff downward. And he gave me the reins. He gave me the rope for the horse. And I just, okay. he said he was going like, just don't move too much. You'll be fine. He was speaking. I'm not sure what the language was. I'm not sure what the language was, but it was a different dialect. But he was basically saying like, he'll be fine. You'll be fine. You're in charge now, basically. You'll be fine. If he ever like strays too close to the cliff, just pull on the rope. And I was like, okay. And when he realized that the horse's butt was still on the rope, he pulled it further into the patch of bushes. And I can like one stone's throw away, and there's a cliff over there, and so he goes, here's the reins. It was like this really thick bundle of rope coiled around, and I just held on to it. And okay. Yes, exactly. Just the Pikachu face. And he went off into the forest, and I wasn't gonna track him. I wasn't gonna look at him. I know what we was gonna do in the forest. So I just looked at the horse. And then I just looked at the other side, where he didn't go. And I just enjoyed the scenery. I enjoyed the lovely patches of grass. I enjoyed the canopy of trees above me. I enjoyed like the trickling stream of rainwater from previous rain. And sometimes there'd be like these cute little bugs that would pass around. I saw this really cute dragonfly with like a red head and a black tail, and I was just, wow. Were you sure it was rain? Don't start with me, Nina. Do not start with me. You weren't talking for the first few years of your life, and you were only speaking Tagalog for like 3 more years after that. Dang. What do you mean different dialect? Different Filipino dialect? Different language in general? Dialect! No, it's like Philippine dialect. You know how every region has a different dialect? I think Mindanao has arguably the most dialects. You go to a different province and it's a different dialect. They might sound the same, but they're not. Heck, I go to Davao and it's like everyone's speaking Bisaya and no one speaks Filipino. No one speaks Filipino. And I have to speak in English most of the time. Like, is Konyo a dialect? I'd dispute that. I'd argue with that. We speak Konyo. Ilocano? Oh, never mind. You're talking about Mindanao. Yeah, I'm in Mindanao. I rarely visit the other regions. I don't think I've ever properly been to Visayas, but I've been to Luzon a bunch of times. But yeah, I think Davao is the most popular opinion. I would visit Davao, and at this point I've visited Davao so much that it's mostly like I can get the gist of what the Bisaya terms are. That's why whenever Nina streams with other Bisaya streamers, I can sort of understand by the vibes alone. So that's one. But I'm not sure what the dialect was being spoken during that specific hiking. Your hiking story is similar-ish to my sister. I think I know where you hike. Shush, quiet. I'm trying not to say it. I'm trying not to out the name. So I have free reign to make stuff up as I go every so often. Just to throw you guys off. Yeah. So that was at some point, just name it something else. I'm calling it the lake hike. I'm calling it the lake hike because the lake is an important part of the hike. So I'm calling it the lake hiking. The other one was the monkey hiking. That was in one of the islands. But this one is the lake hike. Yeah. You know. So the long story short, the dude came back. It was actually a pretty neat experience. Like, throw away the fear, and the moment I realized that, yeah, the horse is just gonna eat grass. It's not gonna fall into the cliff. The horse knows better than that. The moment I realized that and just accepted my fate, I was just hanging out. It was just actually really pretty. If you think about it from an outsider's perspective, it was really pretty. The horse does not want to die. Exactly. It could kill me, but it doesn't want to die in the process, you know? If I was kind of sad that there was no one around, right? Because I was off on the trail far enough that there was either people way ahead of me or people way behind me. So there was no one around, and I would have loved a picture of that moment. Like, the horse with knee-high patches of grass and bush, bugs just flying around every so often, the canopy with the lighting trickling down on me, and I don't know, it just felt, if the moment I realized that was the scenery I was in, it felt so nice. I would also be on the horse if I was hiking. I could not survive Station 1, Nina. I could not survive over Station 1. The rest of the journey, we got up to like Station 3. By Station 3, we agreed to meet up. It was a bit over Station 3 because by Station 3, there's a trail that tapers off the main trail to get you to this viewpoint. To get you to this viewpoint that overlooks the entire lake. And it was so narrow. It was so narrow and had so much foliage and so much trees and things that it felt like you were hiking in a forest. You forget that you're on a mountain because the trees were so, like, the canopy, the trees, the fauna was so thick and everywhere. Like, yeah, you were still going up the mountain, but it felt so closed in, but also so wide, ? It's a weird thing to describe. But by Station 3, I got off the horse, and I met up back with my high school buddies, and we went up to that viewpoint. By that, while we were climbing, our guide decided to join us. We had like two guides, one leading the faster dudes, and one, he called himself a sweeper because he was supposed to be like sweeping along the straddlers of the group, which was us. So, and he joined us up the viewpoint, probably for security issues, probably just to make sure that we were all right. Because if one wrong move, in fairness, one wrong move on this trail, you could slip and probably break your neck on the fall down. I can see it. I can see it happening. But thankfully, that didn't happen to us. We bought like these hiking sticks from the base of the mountain, and it would kind of help. Definitely not hiking. Hey, don't let my intrusive thoughts stop you. Your grandma back is enough to stop you. So, my thoughts are more intrusive. Oh dear. Well, it's not a competition. We got, just to avoid like eerily quiet because we were all exhausted at this point. Even me, just riding a horse, I felt exhausted. We tried like telling stories with the guide, like, are we the worst group you've ever had to play sweeper for? And he goes, no, there's worse people. There's worse people. Like, not worse people as in personality, like worse in hiking. Apparently there was this one person he guided and played sweeper for that wasn't the strongest in their group, and had to take so many breaks in between that even though they started at the same time as us, they managed to get to the lake at 7 p.m. at night. They started early morning. They got to the destination at 7 p.m. where there were no lights, mind you. The only lights you could get are from your own devices. Imagine going through the mountains in the middle of the night. The only light you could get would be the moon and the stars, and it's always raining over there. You can't see shit. You can't see shit. So that became, but that 7 p.m. marker became our marker. So long as we don't get to the campsite at 7 p.m., we're good. We're better. So we got to the viewpoint, we took our pictures, we went back down. I got back on my horse, said bye-bye, partner, and to my friends, and headed up and headed to the rest of the way to Station 4. We have a horse, exactly. So by Station 4, that was when the horse could no longer proceed forward, because similar to that offshoot trail in Station 3 to get to the viewpoint, Station 4 to Station 5 had like the same type of trail, but down. It still goes up in some places, but mostly down. And there's something so like scary about going down a natural looking path when it's so steep. Like similar to how we went up that offshoot to the viewpoint, one wrong slip and you could just keep tumbling and falling and sliding down and break your neck or something. I don't know. Cue intrusive thought. Thank you, exactly. But we managed to get there. Not a single one of us tripped. Not a single accident happened. We were all exhausted. But we were fine. Physically? No. Spiritually? Meh. Mentally? Even worse. But we were fine, right? We were fine. We were doing great. It was beautiful, by the way. I saw trees that went so high with the most orange of barks. There were like petrified trees that had the whitest of barks. There were dragonflies. There were ants so huge. I've never seen ants as huge as I've seen there. Insert "this is fine" meme. Except instead of fire, it's trees and vines and bugs. And I'm holding a walking stick. And it was so pretty. There were orange flowers everywhere. Every path, it felt like every path was framed by these bushes of orange flowers. We had so many pictures. We had so many pretty pictures, and there were parts that were so pretty, but we were all so tired that we couldn't even take out our phones. And what are the chances? Hi, sticker. And it imagine, right? Like rows upon rows of green, vibrant bushes with trees poking out every so often, and then there would be just speckled around them orange flowers with the most interesting shape. They had like double petals, and each one would have like, I don't know, 6 or 5 petals each. And I wanted to pick them, but it was I wanted to respect the wildlife. I wanted to just look and not leave behind a footprint or anything, or like pick the flowers or anything. I just loved that. And my friends would just be in front of me, and they would be trekking up an incline, and there would be just these rays of sunlight falling through the canopy, and I was like, oh, this is so pretty. I am so tired. It is an overnight thing, yeah. We got to the lake camp at like 3 p.m., 3:30 p.m. or something. So I would not survive. Look, after 3 p.m., right? After 3 p.m., our first group was already there. They've been there for a good hour or two, to the point that there were tents set up. There were rooms assigned to us. We were going like 2 per person, ideally. So there was 5 tents. One of them we brought. So we only had to pay for like the other 4. And I asked, oh, there's 5 tents. Am I rooming with anyone? Yeah, you're rooming with this girl, with this one. And I said, okay, where's our tent? And they pointed there. And I get, cool. I dropped my bag. I took my neck pillow, which I looked for my neck pillow because the porters brought them first. And I looked for my neck pillow. I slapped it on the tent, and I plopped down and I slept the rest of the afternoon away. The tent had like this thick door, which was like you can't see through it, and then there was a net door to the tent. You zip it up. You choose if you want the net or you want the closed one. The closed one gives you privacy. The net one gives you like airflow. They just left the net open. They just left the net for me zipped on, and by the time I woke up, it was way past sunset. Like, it was near dinner. They tried to wake me up every so often because they wanted to because they were going to dip in the lake. The lake was beautiful, mind you. Like, we got there, the lake was gorgeous. It was an amazing sight to behold, but I was tired. I was so tired. My bones were creaking, my muscles, whatever there is left of it, was aching. My mind was shattered, my soul defeated. Would you do it again? No, but that's what I said the last time I did this, and here we are. Maybe a different mountain, maybe. But I slept the afternoon away. I woke up for dinner. Apparently everyone took a dip in the lake, and there was like these swimwear already like scattered about, freaking laundered. They used our walking sticks as like laundry lines, which I thought was genius, but also it was flimsy, so sometimes it would fall. And I don't know, they're swimwear anyway, so it doesn't really matter if it gets dirty. But at some point, they gave up on the walking sticks turning into laundry wires, and they just hung the things on top of our tents. It didn't do much, but better than nothing. We had dinner. They covered dinner. Our package covered dinner, so that was a nice dinner together. And then we were back into our tents. And because I already slept the afternoon away, I was way too awake. There's a package. Yeah, we got a package deal on it where we would pay, I say, $4K total for covering dinner. There were still hidden fees though. Like, the horse was a different. I had to pay for the horse differently. It didn't cover the horse. It didn't cover like any extra kilos from the porter. They calculated the porter package later when they figured out how many kilos we brought up the mountain and brought down. There was, in fairness, we had more coming down than going up because we had our bathing suits wet. We didn't have time to dry the bathing suits, so that made them heavier. The bathroom fees were separate. the station drinks. There were shops per station, but yeah, those weren't covered either. So yeah, there's a bunch of hidden fees going around, but the package covered the guide and our meals. The tents were separate. The mats were separate. The mats are like these, like very thin cushions you would put in your tent just to like ebb the hardness of the floor. Each tent would have like this bamboo mat underneath it, just so it's not directly on the ground. The bamboo mats and the tent were calculated after. The base package was like around 4,000 pesos, and then they would calculate everything else on top of it after, which is fine. We knew what we were getting into. It we did get our lunch. And then dinner was nice. Dinner was good. I think it was like a chicken barbecue or something. I'm not sure. But we asked specifically that they make it all halal. No, so no nothing pork based, nothing like blood based. So we were reassured. Apparently we were sharing the package with another group that we had absolutely no connection with whatsoever, and they didn't mind the halal meals either. That same group joined us for an outing into the lake the next day. But before that evening, because I slept the afternoon away, I was wide awake. So I brought books. Terrible idea, but I brought books, like actual hard-covered books. Not hard-covered, soft-covered books. The ones you buy at a national bookstore or something at a deal. And I brought this book that I think I stole from my cousin, because I cannot remember where I got it from. But it looks like a book that my cousin would have. And I brought that book into the mountain so that I can read it, because there's no signal there. Absolutely zero signal. The time I was up that mountain, freaking Finon was getting dripped for his Nanook Sona. That was the only thing I regret, that I didn't see Finon's Nanook Sona and like him going commando live on stream. Oh. Give me a sec. Wow, the Nightbot wants me on my default. Dang. Don't worry about it. Anyway. So I read the book. I was reading the book in the middle of the night. And at some point, the tents got rearranged that one tent ended up with only one person, and one tent ended up with 3 people. So one of us got kicked out of their tent and had to share with another group's tent. It was a size issue. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It was all consensual. So those three were my high school buddies, right? 3 of those were my high school buddies. The other one was already asleep. The other one kicked the other one out of their tent. And those 3 were chatting so long into the night. And I was at a different tent. My tent mate was already asleep. I was on a different tent, and I was using my phone flashlight to read the book. But because the book was so close, I didn't need my glasses anymore. And while I was reading my book, they were starting to complain like, "Oh my goodness, these other campers, isn't it lights out? Why are they not turning off their lights? Why is it so bright?" And I didn't close my phone. Like I flattened my phone so the flashlight would be over the book, and so no light would escape. And then I would like bend it so that the light would be facing their tent, and I would do that a lot. After they said that, I did that like a lot. Like I was blinking the phone. I was blinking the phone light into their tent, and I go, "Jig! It was you!" And I go, "Ha, yeah." And they go, "You're still awake?" I've been asleep the entire afternoon. I can't go to sleep now. I'm reading a book. And it's been a while since I talked to them. It was nice. The catching up, just talking, just chatting. How's life? How's things? And at some point, they ask, "Yo, Jig, do you have coffee?" And I go, "I have enough coffee for the 4 of us awake right now, but then none would be left for tomorrow." And they go, "That's fine. One of us isn't drinking coffee. They already brushed their teeth." So we got out of the tents. We went we went to the dining area with the hot water, and the three of us got coffee, and I said, "Do you guys have snacks?" And they did. So I went back to their tent, and now there's four of us cramped inside this tent, and we just chatted. Coffee, chips. Not the best combination, I'll admit. Coffee is not my first choice to drink. Eating like chips. But it was nice. It was a good time. It was a good time. At some point I finished my coffee. I went back to my tent. I continued reading. I wanted to finish that book by that night. Continued reading. And at some point I look up and realize, oh, dang, it's so cloudy. I wonder if it's gonna rain. But I can still see like pinpricks of stars in the sky. And then I realized, I should wear my glasses. And I wore my glasses. And I looked up at the sky. And I go, whoa! That is so many stars! Oh my goodness, it wasn't cloudy at all! It was my eyes that had the problem. I forgot that I was myopic. I was wearing my glasses the entire ride up the mountain. And I took it off when I went to sleep that afternoon, and the clouds disappeared. Like my screen was suddenly in HD. I was suddenly watching in 1080p when I wore my glasses, and it was so beautiful. It was so breathtaking. You can see the silhouette of the mountain, the way the stars and the moon just reflected on the surface of the lake, and at some point a breeze would blow and I would shiver to the core of my bones. Oh my goodness, it was so cold. I am not used to the Philippines being that cold. I'm used to my air conditioner, but oh my gosh. Oh my goodness, it's 11 o'clock. I should finish the story. I should wrap the story up. The morning, I finished the book. I finished the book that night, and I went to bed. And I tried to go to bed, but every so often I'd wake up because I'm not used to sleeping on that type of sleeping area. But I managed to go to sleep, and when I woke up, we took our pictures of waking up. We ate breakfast. It was a lovely breakfast. They had like this setup on the table with we call it a budul. I don't know how that translates to other languages, but we call it a budul. Basically, it's just this giant banana leaf, and the rice would already be there arranged around the food, and the food would be arranged around everything else, so that technically they're not all just mixed together. You know, you can still pick them up, but they're all just laid out in a specific way, and it was so pretty. It was so nice. We took pictures, we ate, we had breakfast, and then we got ready for the day. The day would start off with us taking a dip in the lake, but not specifically the main lake. It was an outlet. They called it an outlet. It's a corner of the lake where it would exit into a river through the rest of the mountain. And that place was the only area you can use soap in the lake. You're not allowed to use soap like in the main lake, only in that outlet, because it's already exiting out. And if you wanted like a free bath you didn't have to pay for, the outlet was there, but you still had to pay for the boat ride to get there from the main area to the outlet. So they helps the local economy, I guess. Tourism and all that. Tourism industry. So, oh my goodness, Nula's only 4 times voted. I kind of want to go to the bathroom now that I'm talking about all this water. Give me like 5 minutes here. I shall return, hopefully. Did my model just move while the mic was muted? Huh. I thought I saw my model move while the mic was muted. Dang. Oh well. So, lavish and actual bathroom. I also refilled my water. Who knew talking for 3 hours would strain your voice? Thank you, thank you. I'm back. Where did I cut off from? Outlet. Yes, outlet. The morning was a dip in the outlet so that anyone who wants to like take a bath, you know, use shampoo and soap while taking a dip could do that without having to pay like 20 pesos. Granted, the boat ride to the outlet is like 100 pesos per person, so I don't know. I guess you save 20 pesos, fair enough. We got to the outlet and there's like these really tiny fish in it that technically are not afraid of humans, because if you stay still long enough and expose some skin, so let's say your hands or your feet, they start eating off of it. Like they start nibbling at it, and it doesn't hurt, it tickles. And I've done this before in a foot spa years ago where there was just so many fish, and if you just dip your bare feet into the water, they start crowding around it and just start nibbling at the dead skin. And although it tickled, I also liked it. I really liked it. And I was hoping to do that again when I learned that they were also in this outlet. But everyone kept like walking around me, walking like past me. Like the water was so cold. It took me like 20 minutes to get deep enough to have water on my shoulder, to be like as shoulder deep into the water. But at the entire time, I just had my hands sticking out, because my bathing suit was like a full body cover. It's a long sleeve with like a skirt and like pants, and then I wore like swimming shoes, and of course the head cover. And I had the only skin exposed is my face and my hands. And while I was going deeper and deeper into the outlet, as slowly as possible, because it was freezing cold, I had my hands out into the water, hoping for like fish to like come near me as I walked slowly into deeper lengths, deeper parts of the outlet. And they never did. They never got near me. I don't know if the water was moving too much. My friends were like jumping around. There was like a diving part where you had to pay like 20 pesos for unlimited diving. I did not join. I would not be peer pressured. I know my limits, and one of my limits is diving into this freezing ass water. And at some point, I just stayed in one area. I tried to float because they gave us life vests, right? They gave us life vests, and I tried to float for a bit, but at some point the water would just move me, and people kept saying, you might end up in the river if you don't hold on to something. So I held on to this like random stick jutting out from the water, and that's where I stayed for a bit while everyone else was like diving everywhere. Every so often, while I was sliding down deeper into the cold, they would splash me, and I would just scream at them that they were so mean. Like, why would you do that? That's so mean. They kept telling me that if I just do one dip, like, just get it over with. It's like a band-aid. It's like a band-aid. It's better off you just rip it. Get it over with fast. And I just couldn't. It was just so cold. I don't want to. So I didn't. And I took my time. And I think that's fine. I think we all have our own paces. And my pace was turtlishly slow. And some of us don't like diving. And some of us don't have to. Most of us don't have to. I'm not paying 20 pesos for unlimited diving only to do it once and then never again. Please. At some point, everyone finished taking... I took a bath in the designated area, in the main camp, so I didn't feel like taking a bath there in the outlet. So I just sat in one of the stones near the shore while everyone else was like shampooing near the exit of the river to the river, because that's where you're supposed to use your shampoo apparently. I took my water shoes off and just laid my foot like on another nearby stone and just watched the fish nibble at my dead skin, if I did have any. I feel like I cleaned my feet too recently, and when I was like exposing them for the fish to nibble on, they couldn't get anything out of it. I'm not sure. But there was only like a few nibblers that like stayed. Granted, every so often someone would just wade through the water too close to me, and all the fishies would like swim away, and I'm like, ah, man, now we have to wait again for them to come back, or like for a new school of fishies to like take interest. And at some point, they finished bathing in the exit of the outlet, and we were all told to get back on the boats and get back to the main base and get ready for the hike out of here. And God bless though that one group of campers that got grouped with us. They were such good sports because the boats could only handle like I say six people each. So we had to be separated with four of our campmates, and they were grouped with this other group of campers that was going to the outlet with us. And on the way back, we were all like screaming competition with our other group, going like, "We'll be faster! We'll beat you! This is a race!" And we were egging each other on. We were bringing the actual boat. What do you call them? They were like the actual boat dudes, the actual dudes who own the boats and stuff. We were egging on our boat dudes and going like, "We can do this, Kuya! We can do this!" Kuya is like an older brother, but we use it as an honorific to anyone, really, any male. Even if we know that we're older than them, usually if we're not close enough, we would still use that word. And there were points where we would be ahead. Our boat would be ahead. I did not help them at all. Some of my campmates had like these oars to help them, and they were exercising a lot. I just watched. I just enjoyed the sun on my face until it was gone because a huge ass cloud suddenly appeared in the sky, and the wind of the lake, the natural airflow of the lake was blowing past, and it was freezing me to the bones, and I just had to just watch them. I did bring a coat with me. It was like a raincoat, a long raincoat that I didn't have time to wear when we were going back. So I had to wrap it around my shoulders, and it worked well as a windbreaker. But the moment it just slips a tiny bit, I can feel ice on my shoulder, for example, or anywhere else that it slips through. It was an interesting experience on the science of windbreakers. I wish I wore it properly, just so I wouldn't be so cold that ride back. But yeah, the two groups were having a blast. At some point, we would be near our boats. Our boats would be near each other enough that we would take videos of each other, and that like the person up front would go, "Yo, take a video of us." Now, while they're taking a video of us, quick guys, quick, row faster. And the person taking a video would just have the most deadpan face to looking at us, but they'd still be taking the video. In fairness, they were sports about it. That was a nice thing. We got back to the main campsite. We changed out of our wetsuits. We got back into our hiking gear, or at least our second pair of hiking gear. We cleaned up after ourselves. And then the last thing was meeting back up with our guides and making our way down the mountain. But to go down the mountain, you must first climb the mountain. because yeah, you're in a valley right now in a lake, so you have to go back up. And that was station 5 to station 4. So you remember yesterday, station 4 to station 5 was such a narrow way of going down. So imagine that backwards. Station 5 to station 4 is a narrow way, steep inclines everywhere going up. And the suffering continued. Even better, remember the huge ass cloud that suddenly appeared to block the sun while we were racing our boats across the lake? That huge ass cloud carried rain. So our entire trek up from station 5 to station 4 got rained on, and the bag I had as a carry-on was not waterproof. I had the hubris to assume that my freaking raincoat, my tiny ass raincoat, would be enough to cover my bag, my carry-on bag. Spoilers, it was not. That carry-on bag was where my books were. The book I read the night before. It's where my wallet is. The wallet that's paying for all of this, and also has like paper money. I mean, I guess money isn't really easily wet, but the worry continues. The worry stays. And we trekked up. Cryo and the more fit girls were out of sight like almost immediately. Freaking Geo, God bless him, he was with us the entire time. He didn't bring a raincoat. Both Geo and Cryo did not, either they did not bring a raincoat or they did not wear a raincoat. They either put their raincoats away in their bags and had it advanced by a porter down the mountain, or they just didn't bother packing raincoats. They were soaked. If I was soaked, they were soaked. Like, they were drenched. We were wearing dry fit shirts. It was drenched. Like, if you hadn't taken a bath all day, that was your bath right there. Might as well like slap some shampoo on your hair and let the rain wash it away. It wasn't dangerous though. It wasn't the kind of rain that was dangerous. There wasn't any rapid rivers forming from the strength of the rain or anything. There were drizzles. There were just streaks of little trickles down the path. But nothing we couldn't get over. We still had to be careful, of course. I think anything you do in hiking, especially when it comes to nature, you have to be careful with. But more careful now that it was raining and you could, I don't know, maybe slip and fall and tumble and roll off the river. Maybe hit your head on a rock or break your neck on a branch. I don't know. Just be careful. We had our walking sticks. We had to climb. That was helpful in climbing. We got separated a lot of times because I just could not. I was like, I didn't even climb properly. I was on a horse for 3 stations yesterday and I still could not. My body is deteriorating, and that was such an amazing reminder of how much it was not fit. You'd think I'd wake up from these experiences and actually start taking care of my body and start exercising immediately after, or I don't know, eat healthier or something. Nah. By the time we got to station 4, which is where horses can continue, there were 6 horses waiting up there. We booked 1, 2, 3, 4. We booked 5 horses yesterday. Hiya wind. What do you mean G? G's.
Next material just
I'm not
rated
even
with a
playing
swarm of
Genshin.
59 viewers.
I'm not even
Welcome.
playing Genshin. Holy crud! Oh my goodness! There's a bunch of you. Oh gosh! Well, there goes the grubs. Are they safe? Are they good? Are we friends? Oh, nope, there's someone falling on. Okay. We know. Well, good to know. Welcome Raiders, how was your stream? I hope it was good. If it wasn't, I hope it is now. Where's the little grub? Where's the little goober? There you are. Come here. Hey, look at you. Ah, man, I'm covering you because of the followers. Ano naman kaso kung di naka-Genshin basta may raid? Fair enough. Fair enough. Thank you so much, Gil, for the raid. Welcome in, Raiders. How was the stream, Gil? Genshin Impact. Were you playing Stygian? I think I saw you playing Stygian and then, I don't know, helping with IT? Don't you just love it when Genshin players help you with information technology concerns? Thank you all so much for the follow. Welcome in, everybody. Hi, Dritz, Earl, Alex. We're testing out Stygian. We're doing Stygian on Monday, and hopefully I can get my last primos for Shunha by then. Welcome in, Wind. Lovely to have y'all here. Hey, Dwayne. Oh gosh, there's so many of you. It's always so many of you. I'm starting to grow immune, Gil. You do this a few more times, and I'll build up an immunity. God dang it! I just said I was starting to build an immunity. Freaking flustered. Stygian and IT ginawa kanina. Let's go! I read your stream titles. Pang mayaman yung Stygian. Well, kung primos lang ang habol mo. Hey, Boink, welcome in. Who do we have? Who do you have from the stream? Welcome in, Raiders. We have Malphus, Clarky, Summer, Floor. There's Dwayne, Wind, Aren? Oh, RNG. Oh, that's smart. Dritz, Nadine, Malphus. Thank you all so much for the raid. Thank you all so much for joining the raid. It's Dinah, Clarky, and Boink. Kami ang iyong immunity pill. I need a few more shots of that vaccine, and before you know it, I'm immune. I'm immune. Okay. Did you do well on Stygian? What did I miss? I passed out. We got raided, and suddenly there's so many of you. Oh my goodness. I was talking about my hiking trip. You guys want to share some touching grass stories? I was talking about my hiking trip, and it's the store, and we're already at the part where we're going down the mountain. Although I am speaking in English, like I do understand Filipino, so y'all are fine. Kung gusto niyo mag-Filipino. May mga kawawa na hindi makaintindi sa inyo, pero sila na yun, bahala na sila. Crying sa dire level. Is dire level the whale level of Stygian? Uy, hiking. Dating hiker din ako. Bakit dati? Ba't ka nag-stop? Why did you stop? Did you grow old? Did your body deteriorate too far? Did you get busy? Hindi rin ako hiker, actually. Like, nag-invite lang ang friends. And then, hindi na kami ulit magkita ulit. Imagine your friendship ends because you decided to go hiking. Di nag-hike pero nagbabike. Oh my goodness, a biker. How are the streets treating you? Our Filipino streets are not kind to bikers, as far as I know. Unless you're in an area that's kind to bikers. Hiker ka rin dati, Jesse. Oh my goodness, I spoke Filipino to Jesse. I'm assuming before the pregnancy. Besides na busy sa work, na nabaan ng gusto at tumanda. Look, the key to fats and aging is to go hiking. You either get thinner from hiking or you just stop growing old. Is that too dark? Is that joke too dark? I realized that joke might be too dark the moment it left my mouth. Not getting old enough to sleep early. Prage. So, the hiking trip I went to offered like horseback assistance if you can't hike anymore. Hiking is kind of walking in nature trip. Yeah, but with more effort. Like my shins are degraded. My legs were wobbly, my bones stopped existing, my asthma like leveled up. But the hiking trip I went to, no, if you guys have an assumption on where I went hiking, just keep it to yourselves. I don't want to name the actual hiking trail. But the hiking trip I went to had offered like horseback assistance if you can't handle fit like walking down yourself anymore, and we got horses. 5 of us out of the 10 campers got horses to go down the trail, the rest of the trail. And we got these were different horses from yesterday. Yesterday, the day before, I got a pony. Yeah, I got a pony as the horse to take me up the trail. Going down, these were like bigger horses. Good night, Malphus. Thank you for sharing your hiking lore. Pat. Ikaw si Zhao? Malphus is a Zhao main? Oh. Congratulations or my condolences. I'm not sure. I don't have to deal with that because I have the stamina of a small child, just someone of my height. But you still hiked in general. That means like it was a thing you usually did. My hiking was a once in a blue moon, and it happened twice in my life. So that's a bad sign. We went down the mountain on our horses, and these horses were much larger than the one I rode yesterday. So imagine, I'm small, right? I'm small. I'm canonically 4'8". So straddling a pony was fine. Like, it was at my level, but that was already hurting me. That was already making my lower body go numb. The fact that I got a bigger horse on the second day, I had to straddle it. My legs were spread, I wasn't doing the splits or anything, but it was spread wider than it was yesterday, and it was much more difficult. Before the creepy abandoned school incident where a friend went missing, hiking was all fine and dandy before that specific incident. Huh! What a lore drop. Skirk, is that you? I think we need a different Just Chatting stream for that. Now, I want a spooky Just Chatting stream. We save that for then, Jesse. Or, just pop in a different stream for that. I want that elaborated on a different stream. We'll do a spoopy stream on October. A spoopy Just Chatting stream on October where we talk about supernatural experiences. I've never had them, but I do have stories. Anyway, the fact that I had to straddle a wider horse in comparison to yesterday, which was already difficult. My lower body grew numb way faster. Maybe it was also because I already had the day prior to hurt me. Now it just went worse. It went faster. The deterioration was faster. And the abandoned hospital incident with a phone that randomly went off even though it was out of battery for what seemed like multiple months. Yeah, Jesse, you need to save these for when we do the spoopy Just Chatting stream on October. It'll be on brand. It'll be on theme. We went down from station 4 to 1. And that was a journey in and of itself because unlike yesterday where we were mostly going up, now we were mostly going down. And now using horses throughout that entire time, it was a different type of difficulty because when we were going up, we had to lean forward and just let the horse carry us. But when we were going down, we had to lean back and go against the horse's weight. Because should we lean forward, we would have just tumbled off the horse. So leaning back and defying gravity put more strain on us. Am I just becoming scared? Kinda. It's not trauma dumping. You're just info sharing. Thank you for the drink, crowd.
Crowd strikes Euro 359 just redeemed drink.
So the whole leaning back, going against gravity just so we don't tumble off our horse the entire time from station 4 to station 1 took its own toll on us. It's a different type of toll than when should we have just walked the rest of the way. So by station 1, we agreed that we would forego the horses the rest of the way. By then, it was just decline. We were just going down the rest of the way. And we were so close. We were so close to home. So we got off the horses, we paid our handlers, and we were basically sliding. Don't ask how I found a tunnel under my bedroom. I will ask you in October. I want to save these stories. These are really interesting stories. Or, you can also share with me in DMs, and then you tell it again to chat on October. That's also fine. We were basically skidding. When we got to Station 4, the rain had basically disappeared, like it was a dream. And by the time we got to Station 1, we were almost dry. But we were still like damp. So while we were skidding down the rest of the trail from Station 1 to Base Mountain, there was always just this gentle breeze because we were going the way that we were, and it was getting cold, and it was also like kind of refreshing. It's a strange experience, especially seeing everything you've seen before from a different angle. Like, you go front, you don't look back, right? But now that you're going back, you see the things you probably missed while only looking ahead. And it was kind of refreshing that entire trip down, especially with the horse and all. The horses were tall, right? They were like 5-6 feet from hoof to head. And it was the type of height that there would be fallen trees or branches that would make tunnels in the path, and you just have to duck down every so often. And I thought that was interesting because that would probably be the only time I would need to duck down to avoid a high frame on my head. Like, it that would be the only time. There were times like the horse would go to the grass, and that path would have me passing through like trails of vines, and I just had to push them aside. And I feel like, oh, this is the only chance I'll ever be able to do this. This is the only chance this will be a hindrance for me. And that was the silver lining of me riding a horse for the first few times. It was just a tiny thing that I just liked. Like, when else would I ever be inconvenienced by these high dangling vines or these fallen trees that make like a tunnel in the path? Like, this would be the only chance. And I enjoyed it. I was fine. It was painful. It was fine. Like, it was nice. I've never noticed how abnormal these experiences are to other people until I actually said it. I know, right? That's me with the shellfish story. Or, this hiking story. Apparently it's out of the realm of conception for most people. Then again, I am on Twitch. What are the chances that there are physically active people on Twitch? Or grass touchers on Twitch? It's very rare. Surprisingly. Anyway, by the time we got to the base camp, we changed out of our damp clothes. We got into drier ones. A bunch of us didn't have any extra clothes, so they just wore their pajamas from the night before. We got into the van, the same van we rode to the area, and it was time to say goodbye. It was time to close that chapter of our lives. We got on the van. We got some snacks. A lot of us slept the rest of the way home. And by the time we got out of the base camp by like around, I say 3, maybe 4 p.m. And we got home around 6 or 7. And I was so tired and I was so out of it that I got my bags, I got my wetsuit, I got my carry-ons, I got my walking stick. I said adieu to my friends. We were never gonna see each other again for like a year or so, give or take. I went into my room, I rested a few more minutes, and I realized I freaking forgot my certificate of appearance in that van. And we rented it. So there's no way we're gonna go so out of our way to get that certificate. It wasn't worth it. Absolutely not. I'm dead to the world. I'm done. I'm never hiking again. The next time I'm touching grass is when I have to like step on the lawn. When I go outside, when I'm forced outside or something, I don't know. Oh my gosh. What an experience. Lovely, lovely experience. 10 out of 10. Would recommend. Would I do it again? No. But that's what I said the first time. And look at me now. I think my body's still aching. I think my body's still slightly aching. But then again, maybe my body's always been aching. And it's just more prominent now after that trip.